Amara Farm is a family farm where my kids, my husband, my in-laws all are part of the farm and help to make it prosperous and grow. First and foremost, our farm is a business. It has to be economically viable for us to continue, but we always planned that the farm would attract community around it so that it could be supported. We're trying to make it a place where we don't have to leave. And if you don't have a community, like your family, a big family to support you, that's really, really hard. And I'm not sure how you could succeed.
What you feel, like what kind of cuisine. So some of the ones, like...
We would not have been able to get started without our family supporting us. I think initially my kids were really excited about moving to the country.
Me and Anna help her with selling like veggies and stuff like that.
So this is the organic cider.
My husband Neil is a fabulous planner kind of guy. He is the backbone of the infrastructure of the property.
For irrigation, greenhouse maintenance, tool, all the mechanical pieces. All of the work that I do on the farm, the varied work, I probably do 50% of it with my father.
What John brings to the farm is a bit of order, and things get put away, and it's benefited us.
I wanted to come back to this style of life again because I think it's a nice way to live. In my opinion, like to be a small farmer around here, it's essential to have good neighbors and have good relationship with them.
4 other farmers joined us to form Merville Organics Growers Cooperative.
I think Arzeena operates from a place of community, and certainly that's what drew us into this group of people. When I first met Arzeena, I think I was welcomed with a warm hug, right? She's just such an inviting, welcoming person. And she said, I can't sell food to people who don't know me. They need to know me. They need to trust that this food is good.
Not many farmers pay themselves for the amount of labor that they put in. And quite honestly, I don't know any farm that truly does map all of the time. If you can sell your product for more than what it costs you in that year to grow it, then you're heading on your way to profitability. And if that end number is something that I can live on, then we look at that as we're in the black.
You have to look at the cost benefit and say, okay, can I at least break even, right? What's the risk and how much money I'm going to put in here?
It's a real challenge balancing being economically viable and being at what you want it to be. There were a couple of crops for the last 5 years I've grown just because I have a sentimental attachment.
Right. For example, Arzeena and I, we looked at eggs and chicken, and for us, the price of feed got to the point where for eggs just wasn't economically feasible. So we made the decision that although we like eggs, we'll have a few for ourselves, but we're not going to go to egg production or layers anymore because the price of feed was just prohibitive.
We have the luxury of an off-farm job that pays for our survival, and more than just that, right? It helps pay for the infrastructure.
My off-farm job is subsidizing the farm and the farm operations, at least in the beginning years. The dream would be that I work solely on the farm.
Neil works, we get him on Fridays and Saturday, Sundays.
The income really allows us as a farming entity to plan for things like irrigation, fencing, greenhouses, equipment.
If I wasn't working and Neil was just working his off-farm job, what he is now, and we didn't have the farm, we would probably actually be financially better than we are now. Our relationship, I would say, suffered in the first couple of years.
Very early in our time here at the farm, we did realize that we were spending way too much time focusing on farm and farm work, and very little time on each other.
I think the first 3 years of starting the farm came first.
We've watched a couple of relationships kind of really have a hard time, and we didn't want to be in that situation. And so when we saw it coming, we went for help.
So we decided to seek counseling in the beginning just so that we could iron some things out. Neil and I have just decided that if we as a unit can't work together, then the farm will never go where we want it to go.
Unfortunately, relationships focus on is bank balance is negative, I want to do this, I want to do that, we don't have enough money, the stress then starts to build.
Neil and I have a standing date night that we just take time off.
We really plan ahead and be deliberate in terms of time together. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
We want to be in this for the long haul. We want to be farming when we're in our 80s, in whatever way that looks like. So we want to ensure that the foundation's really solid. We were looking at 5-acre to 10-acre properties, but my in-laws came to see it and they really liked it.
We sold our home, so we invested a good part of our capital into letting Neil and Arzeena purchase a farm.
So they put in half the cost of the farms.
We were quite happy to help them out in that way and make it easier for them to realize their dream.
In one of the first couple of years, my kids were still small at the time. And I think I'm kind of zoned out and just kept weeding because that's what happens. And came in at 9 o'clock and I'd forgotten to feed my kids.
We just kind of made our own food. It wasn't that stressful.
Yeah. I just remember feeling how guilty I felt, like forgetting to feed the kids because the farm was really sucking all of my mental and physical energy.
We sort of just had to fend for ourselves, make our own dinner.
The kids really didn't want to be part of the farm labor. They didn't want to weed. They didn't want to do any of that work. So they had to step up in different ways.
Actually, me and I have got better at cooking
Yeah,
because of that.
We really enjoy cooking now. It's really helped our skills. I think we sort of realized that this is our parents' dream, owning their own farm, doing what they're doing right now, and us doing this was just a small part just to help them fulfill their dreams.
Prior to us having a co-op, I found it very stressful not having an assured outlet for where our produce was going.
Up until this year, I thought, well, I can't actually grow this business if I have to do this all by hand, by myself, and get to those markets. There's no way. Let's go. Okay. A small part of me thought, wouldn't it be great if there were a group of people like Merville Organics that I could farm with?
Part of the co-op is that we share some of the key infrastructures.
There's coolers, which is a huge issue, right? Keeping things cool is really important, and you can only put so much in your fridge.
So our farm leases our cooler and our wash station to the co-op.
We don't even have a wash station set up. We've been using just pretty sad little buckets and hoses. So to be able to take things there and use that infrastructure is going to help expedite our process of growing.
It's a marketing co-op, so we each have our own farm businesses, and then we aggregate all of our product and sell it collectively.
It was super daunting to think of doing all of those markets myself. If I'm sick and I can't go to the market, or I am inundated with weeds, I can call on those people to help me.
We all benefit. The more that the co-op sells, the more our product is sold. And at the end of the year, any profits are shared amongst the growers. So it's a win-win for everybody. We both have a desire to have the farm be economically viable.
I could go make money doing other things, much easier, much less stressful.
A lot of growers look at that as their cost for the lifestyle that they have.
And you do this for your family, not for what you get as a reward, because it's a nice way of life.
Financially, we would have been better off without the farm. The farm gives us so much more than just finances.